Hello and welcome to this video where we'll look at transform and warp. So the idea here is that we want to place an image and we want to sort of either wrap it around this cup or maybe lay it flat on something. The idea would be that, we're trying to see, what our logo would look on a variety of different media, I guess, right? So we'll start with this blank cup as our canvas. So I'm just going to copy that image and then go into Photoshop. We'll make a new one here. Clipboard, great, and paste it in. Okay, so the next thing that we want is that logo. So there is a logo here. We can do, now this is saved here. I don't know if we can download that, save as. I'm going to do this one where I'm going to save as, let's just save into my downloads. So it should be in my downloads file. So I just saved that Illustrator file there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to file place embedded, and it should be as a smart object. So let's just see what goes on here. So go back to Photoshop, file, place, place embedded. There we are. And I'm going to go find, not in my desktop, but on my downloads here where I saved it. There it is, logo, place, and then I sort of can get it onto the page, image 3D. I think that's what I want. And I'm going to go OK. There it is there. Now it didn't put it in as a smart object. Oh, yes, it did. So there's the smart object there. And what I'm going to do with this one is just sort of place it on the surface here. So obviously it doesn't look like it's sitting on the desk. What my goal is, just come over to here, is to sort of move it around so that it ends up looking flat against here. Now this one, yeah, it can take a little bit of time to get it right. Especially if there's no sort of edges here, I don't think this is perfect, but we'll play around and try to get it to do that. Okay, so what we'll do is, go back here, Photoshop, and then go, now this is actually not going to work, so I'm going to go try to edit, transform, and you can see some of these are not available, and that's because it's a smart object. So I'm going to rasterize that layer. There it is. And now if I go to edit, down to transform, it should have been able to do that. Just a second, let me click off of it and click back on. Edit, transform. Ah, there we go, distort. Okay, I think it was there, I just wasn't looking. Okay, so that lets you sort of grab these corners and mess around with it and try to get it kind of on the surface here. And like I said, it might take me a little bit more time than I want to do on the video here to get it looking right. But something maybe a bit like that. That actually doesn't look too bad. The only thing I don't like, of course, is when, the box is still around it, and that sort of makes it harder to see what it really looks like. So if we sort of say, okay, there we go, and then sort of click off of it. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe it's a little bit off there. You could play around with it, but that's one way of sort of doing it. So that was just, I had to rasterize the layer, and then I did the edit down to transform, and then the distort. Okay, our next little thing is to try to put it on the cup, and there's a few little things that can help us out as well. So logo 2, and then like I said, we're going to use the warp tool, okay, but it's easier to press it up to help. There's some basic shapes, okay, that we're going to be able to set it to. So this arc upper is, I think, one thing that we'll try, and then sort of move it around as well to get it to what we want it to wrap around the cup. So our end goal is to get it looking like that. So let us take this one. So I'll download this one too. So save as, sure, save logo 2. That sounds like a good name. And go back to Photoshop, file, place embedded, and logo 2, place, and okay. So there it is there. And so we've got it embedded here. And then I just have to figure out where that little tool is to get us to warp it. I cannot quite remember, so let me just come over here, see if I can see it. When you work with the warp tool. Okay, so I think we're going to use the warp tool, and then they'll give us those possibilities. So again, probably the warp tool is not available. So transform, warp is not available. So we will have to rasterize that layer. Go back, edit, transform, and now the warp tool is there. Good. And then so up here, you can see there are some warps available to you. And I think I tried the arc lower, arc upper. I thought it was lower. I tried to click on. So that gives us that. Yeah, I don't know which one I was trying. Arch. Maybe the bulge. That would make more sense. It sort of bulges a bit. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to sort of play around and sort of see. I think you can modify these as well. So there we go. Let's see. Now that's not quite looking too right. No, okay. So I'll just have to mess around. So let me say no on that one. Try again, edit, warp. There we go. And so that's going to be custom. So I'm going to be able to sort of pull these, just seeing if there's anything. So this guy, I'm just trying to see, switch between free transform and warp modes. Okay. And then turn a grid on. That might help us a little bit. Let's just see if there's any of these ones that could wrap around a cylinder. A little bit on the tight side. Is there anything we can do to reduce that? Doesn't look like it, which is interesting. Let's just see what happens if I pull this out. Okay, so maybe it is kind of looking right. It's not quite what I want, because it's not going right to the edge. I don't want it to go right to the edge. I guess I could. Now what's interesting about this is that, yeah, it doesn't quite do what I want. I can pull that in, pull that out. I can't pull this in without it changing. Nope, that might be better. There we go. Always mess around with things. You never know. You never know. That's looking better. Still not perfect. What I would like to do is try to change that corner a bit, but I am sort of happier with its general shape. So what I might do is say, okay, although I do feel it's pulled out a little bit too much. Pull this in. Pull this in. Flatten it out a little bit more. Maybe like that. I'm going to say okay with that. So I think that's on the right track. And then I might just sort of come into edit, transform, do the warp again. And I do like having that grid on a bit. Although that might, a little worried that that's going to, yeah, maybe that won't quite do. So let me just go back. Let me turn that grid off. Yeah, because then it sort of pulls it more cohesively. So again, I mean, this could take a while to get it to look how we want. And again, I would hope that there was something a little bit easier in Photoshop. I think I'm not doing a great job. I'm just trying to pull it out a little bit so it doesn't look quite as rounded there. But you sort of get the idea, okay? I'm not gonna, looks like a poorly placed sticker. But I did do it better at one point. And then so being able to sort of pull those corners out a little bit. What I probably need to do is play with the handles a little bit more to get that curve better, and then try to get that on. So let me try one more time. What I mean by the handles is something that we'll learn quite a bit about in Illustrator. And so I'm going to warp. And so there are little, if I click on these guys, there should, are over here. See this little guy? That's the handle that sort of pulls it out. Yeah, I think that's looking better already. Although I'm still not happy with this should come down, I would assume. And probably this one sort of mirroring it down. Yeah. Well, play around, see what you can do. I'm going to pull this out maybe, bulge it a bit. You can sort of see how it stretches it. Don't like that sort of stretching too much there. But anyways, you get the idea. Okay, so that is some of the distort, sort of the transform controls. So the warp one here, which I've butchered badly, and also sort of the distort one, which did a better job there. And hopefully you can have a better result than me trying to put that logo on, say, a cup or a bottle or whatever you want there.